2002, my 2-year-old son was going through a choking incident and he required CPR. And I was a medical professional, CPR certified every year, but instead of doing what I was trained to do, I forgot all of my training. And my husband ended up saving his life, and that's actually where CPRWrap derived from. I knew that if I could forget, anybody could forget, and so I went on this journey to save lives.
And what was the process for you from, coming up with that idea and then deciding, there's a need in the market for this and I should create a company around this?
Being in the medical world, I always had my pick of the doctors, respiratory, cardiac surgeons, and those were my peers. So I knew the background of what I needed to do. But being a parent, a mother myself, I had to go out there and just get all the information that I could from non-medical people that this product was actually needed. Didn't have a business background at all. So I joined a couple of accelerators and incubators to get the information that I needed.
And so that was then, I guess, fast forward to, this project is 4 years in the making. Like, what are you working on now? What are the big challenges that you have now and some of the successes that you've had?
Now that my product is validated and it's being used not only national, but international as well, we have initiatives that we're trying to see realized. And one of the initiatives that we're trying to do is the Operation School Safety Initiative, where we are working to get a CPR wrap kit in every classroom in every school in the United States. And so that's my big initiative that I'm working on right now. We've had wonderful partners, insurance companies, hospitals, and even just several companies that want to be involved in what we're doing.
Obviously, the coronavirus has really affected a lot of, those schools, administrations, their abilities to operate. Has that kind of pushed some of your timelines a little bit in terms of, when you hope to roll out with some of the school systems?
Yeah, it really, it created an urgency. You think that it would, stop us from doing quite a bit, but, the first and foremost on people's mind is safety. They want their children to be safe, be it in the actual class or virtual or in homeschooling. I think that they're all on board what we're trying to do, and they're really trying to help it become realized.
Is there anything that you feel like you've learned in the past few years that, just obviously when you started the company, it was a daunting process and you didn't quite know how to get going. But 4 years later, if you could give your self-advice from 4 years ago, what would that be?
Right. So in the very beginning, of course, being a female founder and a minority female founder, just getting access to capital. That was very daunting. And being a new company, no one knew who we were. So that took a lot of educating, on both ends. And so what I would tell other entrepreneurs coming in is to really be strategic on who you build your team around, advisors, mentors, because they not can only help you grow as a founder, but they can also give you those connections that you need to really overcome the hurdles that you will face.
Well, Felicia, thanks so much for walking us through your product, and I really appreciate you coming aboard.
Thank you so much for having me.